Yo, what's up guys? Sorry for a duelist, back yet again with another deck profile. I'm by myself this time because I slept for 16 hours. So you know, can't really expect people to wait up. But today we got DDD. This is kind of a preliminary build. I did do some testing, but I don't, honestly, not as much testing as I think I should have. But I definitely can see, you know, places where I can improve with this build. And especially with the Link monster coming out, things that can change in like the extra deck and the main deck. But I think this is a good building block. This is a good way to start off, just to show off, you know, the ideas of what we got going forward. So without further ado, we're just gonna get right on into it. So we're gonna start off with 3 copies of Abyss King Ragnarok. So DDDs have long effects, so I'm just gonna try and summarize them all for you. So let's see, we'll pull one of them off so I can actually read. It's been like 5 years since I played this deck. So his pendulum effect is if you special summon a DD monster, except during damage step, you can target a DD in your grave. Your opponent takes half battle damage for the turn, and then you special summon that monster and take 1000 damage. And then his other effect for his monster is if he's normal or special summoned, you target a DDD in your grave and special summon it. And then once per turn, you contribute one other DD monster to target a monster your opponent controls and banish it. So, really powerful card. Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok is probably one of the best monsters in this whole archetype. Bringing him out on the board in his own right usually doesn't come up too often, but you know, obviously when it does, it can definitely lead you into a good place. But most of the time you're going to use him as part of your combo, and you're going to put him in a scale and just hope everything goes well. Moving on down, I play 2 copies of Thomas. So when Thomas is in your scale, you can target a face-up DD pendulum monster in your extra deck and bounce it to your hand. And that's pretty much it. And then his monster effect is you can target a DD card in your pendulum zone, destroy it, and if you do, you special summon 1 level 8 DDD monster from your deck in defense. And for the rest of this turn, its effects are negated and any battle damage your opponent takes becomes half. So basically, these two are going to bring out each other. And they're going to make your big Renegade plays, you know, slap them down. When Tommy came out, Tommy was definitely a very powerful card. Honestly broken, and a lot of people didn't play him in really early builds of DDD, but you know, going on, I think people realized his use, and now, you know, Master Rule 4, you're going to want to get your stuff back if you do have to pendulum summon. And with other stuff coming up later, like Swirl Slime, you can special him from hand, so stuff comes up. Thomas is definitely a very good addition. DD Vice Typhon, he is one of the newer additions to this deck, but generally overlooked when it came out, honestly, because its main effect has to trigger off of being normal summoned. He's a level 7 monster, so you're gonna have to tribute 2 monsters. Normal summon this to bring out another level 7. So that effect is never gonna come up because he's the only level 7 in this deck. But his other effect is basically a Necro Slime. So when he is sent to the graveyard during this turn, you can banish him and other materials to fusion summon a DD. So, really powerful. It's basically just the 4th copy of Necro Slime. Moving on down, we got 2 copies of Copernicus. So, Copernicus effect in scale, what do? When you activate a spell effect that would inflict damage to you, you can negate it and then destroy him. So that's almost never going to come up. And then his regular effect is when he's normal or special summoned, you foolish a DD or a Dark Contract card. So Copernicus was one of those support cards in the Pendulum Domination deck that just blew this deck wide open. Really good support. I only play 2. I could make room for the 3rd. I definitely see why you would want it, but I've always run 2, and I've always felt comfortable with 2. So DD Ghost. This is another card that a lot of people have overlooked. It is another one of the most recent cards. It came out in Maximum Crisis. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you target a DD monster or a Dark Contract in your grave, and you send another copy of it from your deck to your graveyard. So you can send multiple Liliths, you can send multiple Necro Swirl Slimes, you can send pretty much anything you'd want. And then if he's banished, you target one of your banished DD or Dark Contract cards and put it back in your graveyard, except for himself. So he is very overlooked. He's a level 2 tuner, so he can help bring out stuff like Siegfried going on later. Really good card. And now we get into the main OGs. So we got 3 copies of Swirl Slime. So Swirl Slime lets you fuse from your hand by discarding him and the other material to make a DDD fusion monster. and then you can banish him from grave to special summon a DD from your hand. Both effects are once per turn, but Swirl Slime, very, very powerful card. Very good combo card. And then going on, we have Triple Necro Slime. Is the effective Vice type, and I just called. You can banish him and the other material to fusion summon a DDD fusion from your graveyard. Just broken. Good stuff. We got the level 1 tuner, Lamia. So Lamia is the card that actually broke this deck open, because I don't know if y'all remember when this card came out, there was legitimately no way to summon it for a good 5 months, except for using tuning gum in this deck to make something else a tuner, because it needs a DD tuner, and there was no DD tuners until this was revealed or released, and OCG had it for like a year. But Lamia is a level 1 tuner. If it's in your hand or graveyard, you can send a DD or Dark Contract card from your hand or face up on the field to the grave to special summon her, and then if she's summoned that way, you banish her when she leaves the field. So you can get 1, 2, 45 uses of this in a turn, really. The effect's only once per turn, but you know, you can keep special summoning it with stuff like Ragnarok, with stuff like the fusion monsters, synchro monsters we'll get into. Lamia is very good, very good. Never run less than 3. And the last DD monster you play is Kepler. So Kepler in scale, each standby phase is going to lower his scale by 2. And that's pretty much it. You can't pendulum anything except DDs. He's a scale 10, you know, big guy. For you. But the effect that matters is when he's normally special summoned, you activate one of these 2 effects. You target another DD card you control and return it to the hand, or you add a Dark Contract from your deck to your hand. So, you will typically use this to search out your Dark Contract with Gate or Swamp King, depending on whatever you have. Because, I don't know if you guys heard, DD is a pretty combo-oriented deck. And, you know, if I tried to include combos in this video, this could easily be like a 40-minute video just going to like 2 combos. So, in watching this video, I trust that you have a genuine enough interest in this deck to already have some combos in mind. Because I can't pull any of them off anymore, and I would need to study for like 3 weeks. The last monster I played is 3 Ash Blossom. Just broke myself. Alright, now we're on to spells. Some draw support. I played 3 Allure of Darkness. They're all dark monsters, except for Ash, so you know, just drawing free cards. 1 Foolish dealt Turbo Lamia to the grave, or just Necro Slime, Swirl Slime, whatever you would need. Monster Reborn is an extender. Play 1 copy of 1 for 1, because it's at 1. So, 1 for 1 at 1. Can we get it to 2, please? So 1 for 1, your main target is probably going to be Kepler, unless you already have Kepler, and next it would be Lamia. So Kepler and Lamia are going to be your go-tos with this. Basically, the deck is just turbo them out onto the board as fast as possible, because you know this is a 5-card combo deck, so you're gonna need these cards. 2 Potted Desires. This deck has always had trouble with consistency, so Desires has always had to be a staple in this deck. I feel like it's lessened as time has gone on, because there's other cards you can play that help mitigate it. There's better searchers, better mill cards, but I think you still need to play Desires in order to get anything done. 1 Soul Charge is a combo extender. Upstart is a draw card. You know, free cards, 39 card deck. Play 2 Call by the Graves to ensure your combos go through, because you are going to be searching and special summoning a lot, so you don't really want to get hit by stuff. And then the last cards we play are 3 copies of Dark Contract with the Gate, and 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Swamp King. So Dark Contract with the Gate is once per turn during your main phase, you add a DD monster from your deck to your hand, and then during your standby phase, you take 1,000 damage, and that is not optional effect. You have to take 1,000 damage each time this is on the field, regardless of if you searched or not. But it's your main search card, so you absolutely need to play 3 of this. And Swamp King is once per turn during your main phase, you can fuse a DD using monsters from your field, or from your hand or field to fuse them. So this can help mitigate some other stuff. You know, if you have 2 Swirl Slimes in your hand, you can fuse once using the Swirl Slimes effect, and then fuse another time using Swamp King. So, and then same effect, burn 1,000 if it's on the field during your standby phase, right? Yeah. If summoning a fusion monster, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard. Okay, oh, so you just fusion a fiend type. Never mind. So you can also banish from your graveyard if you're summoning a DD exclusively. But you know, if you really want to fuse into like some fiend type fusion monster, if you really want to fuse into Sandwich, they have to be on your hand or your side of the field. So that's it for main deck. That's 40 card main deck. I like it. It's really similar to builds that I used to play. You know, granted there's some new cards, and we have to go into for link support and stuff like that. So we had to buff it around a little bit. Cards that didn't exist when this deck was tier 2. But I like how it plays. It definitely still has plays, especially when we get Ghengis, you know? Ghengis is going to make this deck able to stand on its own, I feel like. It's not going to need as much random shit. So we'll go into extra deck. So we got one copy of the darkest DD card in existence, DD Wave of Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. Also one of the longest worded cards in existence. So he needs 2 DD monsters to fuse him, and then basically once per turn when he attacks, when an attack is declared involving him, you can take control of another monster your opponent controls and attach it to him as an equip, and then he gains that monster's attack. So if you swing into, so let's say, this is the only example that's ever come up, you're playing against Blue Eyes. They have an Alternative and a Chaos Max. You swing into Alternative, and because he doesn't target, you take the Chaos Max and attach him as material, and now he's swinging for 7,200. So he helps you push for game, basically. He helps you get out of tight spots. Late into the game, you will most certainly always have access to 2 DDD monsters to fuse into it. One copy of Beowulf. He's Heavy Storm, so he needs a DDD and a DD. And then, you know, he lets your DDs do piercing, and then during the standby phase, he's Heavy Storm every single one of your standby phases. So he's definitely, he's not one of the combo fusions, but, you know, he can help you get somewhere. Now we got 2 copies of Big Ghengis. So Big Ghengis is the newest support card, even though OCG's had him for almost a year or more. But Big Ghengis, he's finally here. He's Ghengis. You know, when a DD is special summoned or normal summoned, you target one in your grave, special summon it. And then he also has the effect to negate a spell or trap effect, right? Just spell or trap? When a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you can negate its activation. So it doesn't destroy it, but really powerful stuff. This is what DD wants to do. They want to flood the board with big shit that negates all the fucking cards and, you know, just make your opponent feel helpless. 2800 beater. Big Ghengis is definitely what they needed. And then we got 2 Little Ghengis. So Little Ghengis has the same effect when a DD is normal special. Just target one engrave and special it. And then what was your other effect? When he is destroyed by your opponent's card, you target a dark contract in your grave and add it back to your hand. So, you know, if you sent one off of Lamia and this card gets destroyed by your opponent's card, you can just bounce back that contract to your hand. So Ghengis is very, very good. On the synchros, we play 3 synchros. We play 1 Crystal Wing. Because he's Crystal Wing, you can make him no problem. Broken stuff. We got 1 copy of DD Cursed King Siegfried. This is the card that made me learn ruling. So he needs a tuner and 1 or more non-tuning DDs. And then during either player's turn, you can target a face-up spell or trap card on the field and negate its effects. So this does work against any normal spells. I had to learn this ruling. So like, say someone activated Allure. You would chain his effect targeting the Allure, and now the Allure is negated. They do not get to draw the cards or anything, because it is currently a face-up card on the field. This is the card that probably gives players a lot of trouble when trying to understand how the deck works, I would think. And then when he is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you gain 1,000 for each Dark Contract card you control. So, helps you gain back some of those life points. That being said, I don't play Dark. I know Dark was like broken back in the day, but there's no real place for him anymore. Alright, last synchro I play is 1 Gust King Alexander. I thought about playing Big Alexander too, just to swing for 6k because it's broken, but I don't have too much room to work with. There's a little bit, but I'd rather have the link support I have going in, you know, after this. So he is a DD tuner and 1 or more non-tuners, and then if a DD is normal or special summoned, you target a level 4 lower DD in your grave and special summon it. That's his whole effect. So, just all extenders pretty much. Just gets back your Lamia, so, you know, you bring this out, you get back your Lamia, you synchro into this, pretty much. That's how it's gonna go. That or Crystal Wing, you know, whatever. 1 Exceed, I play 1 Hope Harbinger. You can still bring out, I'm sure, if I tried my absolute best, I could get you guys a combo that brings out all 4 of these guys. in one turn, but it would be very hard. Like this, you have to have knowledge to play this deck. Like that is not a meme. You cannot be dumb and play DDD. You cannot understand these combos if you are dumb. You need to know how to play this game. You need to know your card effects. You need to know everything. Alright, moving on to Link Monsters. Play a Summon Sword. Everything in the deck is a Fiend, and there's a Fiend Link Monster that I play, so it's another combo extender. It helps you bring stuff out from the deck for free. So you can bring out Vice Typhon straight from the deck, and then get another fusion summon like that. It's really good. One Deco Talker. This was going to be a Zephyra Metaltron, but one, I couldn't find one. Two, I'm just more comfortable using Deco Talker. He's a lot less restrictive on how he's made. Metaltron needs monsters summoned from the extra deck, but he is a Link 3 that points 3 down, and he has a pretty good effect. So, I've tested it both ways. I like Deco Talker better, I think. One Master King Archfiend. So basically, his effect does not matter. Because it involves paying life points, not taking damage. If it involved taking damage from card effects, this card would be tier 0 in this deck, so good. But because it's just paying life points, he's literally just used because he's a Fiend, Link 2, that points down left, down right. He just opens up your zones, helps you play. One Electromite. So, this one's a little iffy. I do think Electromite has some good qualities in this deck, but since, you know, stuff like Astrograph is gone now, it's a lot harder to make the case for him. But, you know, Kepler, Copernicus, Ragnarok, Tommy, they're all pendulum monsters. So bring them out. If you have, this is the best example I have. If you have a Ragnarok in scale, you pop the Ragnarok, search the Tommy, draw a card, activate the Tommy, get the Ragnarok back. So, just stuff like that. He also points, you know, down left, down right. His effect is once per turn, so you can do it forever. Just good stuff like that. And the last Link monster I play is just one Wii, which is Olympus, just because it's dark. It's, you know, basic stuff. So that's it. 15 card extra deck. That's gonna be it for this deck profile. Like I said earlier, I definitely see where this deck could improve. I think this is a good building block for going forward, for when more stuff is discovered involving, you know, Link format. I know there are dedicated Link DDD players that, you know, are out there struggling every single day, trying to see if their deck is still viable, if they could still do any combos, stuff like that. But don't give up hope, guys. That's all I can say. You know, Black Wings were dead for, what was that, like 5 years? And now, you know, we got new support. We're topping events kinda sometimes. Burning Abyss has been good for 4 years. You know, stuff like that. Just never give up hope. You know, if there's any major breakthroughs with this, I'll definitely make a second one of these with a, you know, newer profile, newer cards. I'll show off some combos if I got any. I might make a separate video. Don't quote me on this. I might make a separate video showing off DDD combos. If I can get, you know, any mojo going in my brain. But that's going to be it, guys. Like, subscribe, Cypher Duels Forever. We'll be seeing you. Peace.